So folks, the Venom trilogy has finally ended, and it has made quite a lot of money at the box office. However, Sony's dream of building a Spider-Verse isn't over yet. We were thinking that after so many flops and hate, Sony might either bring Spider-Man back to the MCU or wrap up its universe. But no, their plans are even bigger. This universe is now going to stretch from Kraven the Hunter to Secret Wars. We're going to break down this entire romantic tale in detail because in just a few months, Sony's new slate for their Spider-Man universe will be revealed. Then we'll talk about what this relationship really means. The first question is how Venom 3 might introduce Flash Thompson as Agent Venom. In the comics, Flash was a high school bully who joined the military, lost both his legs in the Iraq War, and was filled with trauma and darkness. During this time, the symbiote merges with him, and voila, he becomes Agent Venom, a superhero with military training and a hype similar to a full-on war machine. But here's the twist. Flash works for the government and maintains full control over the Venom symbiote. If you remember the climax of the last movie, there's a soldier named Thompson who survived the xenophage attack. Sony might connect this storyline and make him Agent Venom, later teaming him up with Spider-Man to defeat Knull, entertaining us along the way. As for Knull, although the Codex is destroyed, Knull is a multiversal being and can be freed by the Codex of any universe. In the comics, Eddie freed Knull to save his child. All of this could become clear in Spider-Man 4. Before that, Sony's Spider-Verse has a lot going on. Sony's first R-rated movie, Kraven the Hunter, is coming, featuring Rhino, Chameleon, and Kraven's love interest, Calypso, who will take advantage of him. This might feel relatable to you, considering your past. Kraven is part of Sony's villain-verse. Initially, Sony wanted to make a crossover movie with all these villains, but after several flops, the plan seems to have disappeared. However, Sony could still send the remaining villains to the MCU as a final goodbye gesture, possibly in Doomsday or another dedicated storyline. The final scene might merge everything. Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, and Secret Wars could combine to create one story for Peter Parker's life. Rumors suggest RDJ's Doctor Doom might cameo in Spider-Man 4. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man might also appear, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is almost guaranteed to show up in Secret Wars. If these rumors are true, Spider-Man 4 will be set in the multiverse, where either Knull enters the MCU and Spider-Man teams up with Agent Venom and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, or Tom Holland's Spider-Man travels through the multiverse with Deadpool and Wolverine to defeat Knull. If Knull is freed, he would be a massive threat to the multiverse, and weapons capable of defeating him are very limited. In the comics, Eddie used the power of the God of Light to temporarily defeat Knull. The Ebony Blade, shown in Eternals, could also defeat Knull. Ground-level threats also come into play, like the Celestials, who are Knull's biggest enemies. The Eternals storyline might connect here, but given that two different studios are involved, it's unlikely they'll work together. If this is handled properly, it could end Sony's universe through an incursion or Knull's storyline, discarding the weaker elements while shifting key characters to the MCU. After Secret Wars, Sony might focus on creating exclusive Spider-Man movies for the MCU, similar to the first trilogy. This future could shape up to be a multiverse adventure, where Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Knull are central figures. Meanwhile, the childhood dream of a Sinister Six movie teased in The Amazing Spider-Man has remained just that, a dream. So, what do you think of this complicated universe? Share your opinions on which 5 or 6 movies you'd like to see in Sony's new Spider-Man slate if they announce one. Don't forget to comment on your thoughts. And until then,